Well, what's going on? Welcome back to the Hustle Sports Fantasy Podcast. This is the basketball edition. As y'all already know, we heading into week 15 of the fantasy season. This episode built around staying locked in and getting dubs. Tonight, we break down the week 14 recap, top performers. We got a league shout out, Hustlers pickup. That's our waiver wire scoop, in the zone sleeper pick, and the Hustlers energy lock pick where I throw away the key. We got a fantasy community debate before we get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help y'all get better every week. Not just hype, not just predictions, just structured in the winning mindset. And you already know, if you sleep, you beat. Hey, so let's go and get into it real quick before we get into them top performers. I just want y'all to know, when you evaluate them fantasy basketball performances, make sure y'all focus on three things: usage, touch, minutes, and coach trust. Two, efficiency, shot selection, turnovers, and discipline. And then three, repeatability. Now, who had a crazy night, but who has a role that they can keep repeating and that they'll staple in their lineup. And when you understand those three, you don't really chase chaos, you build stability. And before I drop them top performers, make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at The Hustle Sports Network, and on X at Hustle Sports Net. Hey, let's go and jump into it. The top performers from week 14. At the top guard, my dog, Luka Doncic from the Los Angeles Lakers. He had 68.7 fantasy points in week 14. The boy averaged 34.3 points, 10.6 rebounds, 9.6 assists in week 14. He even had a 78-point fantasy game against Denver, where he had a triple-double. Hey, that's my dog. I got him on the squad. I hate the Mavs. Let it go. I know I bring that up every episode, but I'm going to keep saying it. But yeah, he was the top guard in the fantasy league, in the points league. And at the top forwards is Peyton Watson, a new face here on the top performers list, new blood from the Denver Nuggets. You know what I'm saying? He 58.8% rostered in ESPN leagues, so he's still widely available for those of y'all out there. If you sleep on this guy, don't sleep on him no more. He averaged 60 fantasy points in week 14, and he really been balling since Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He getting steady minutes. As you know, injuries to Jokic, Valanciunas. I saw Valanciunas play the game last week, but they front court been banged up. I saw Gordon got hurt the other night. So some more opportunity for Peyton Watson. He even had an 80-point fantasy game versus Washington last week. He looked like he here to stay, so don't sleep on him no more. He need to be on your rosters. Peyton Watson, remember the name. And we got some new blood at the center spot. The top performers, Joel Embiid. I'm glad to see here from the Philadelphia 76ers. He averaged 63 fantasy points in week 14. Had steady work over the week. He even played 46 minutes versus Houston last week. He averaged 35 points a game, 13 rebounds, and 7.5 assists over the week. Hey, and hopefully there's some signs of what's to come for Embiid. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he's healthy for that Philly playoff push. They're going to need him if they want to really make a deep run. So it's good to see Embiid, getting healthy, and he on the list. Hey, as you know, strong numbers, strong leadership. So let's go and see what we got next. And this is our Hustlers pickup. This is the Waiver Wire Scoop. Excuse me. This segment is about opportunity. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for players with dependable minutes. You know what I'm saying? Roles that fill a category and production that's going to sustain. You know what I'm saying? Remember, opportunity beats reputation. So we ain't worried about the name in this segment. We worried about what you're doing right now. And right now, this guy, Cam Spencer from the Memphis Grizzlies, he is balling. He 32% roster, so he's still just under 70% available in ESPN leagues. He averaging 27.7 fantasy points on the season. And then he doing that in 24 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? He averaging 12 points, 2.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists. He even had a 56-point fantasy night against the Pelicans last week. You know what I'm saying? He had a double-double with 21 points and 11 assists. He got 4 games this week. And with the injuries and the uncertainty around in the Grizzlies backcourt, you can go and scoop this guy, and you can play him confidently. So I'm going to leave this up here for a second because I was a little late on getting that up. This Cam Spencer. Make sure y'all lock it in. He available. Go get him. Next up, we got Aaron Wiggins from the Oklahoma City Thunder. You know what I'm saying? He 11.5% rostered, 21.7 fantasy points, a game on the season. He averaging 23.4 minutes on the year, 10.4 points, 3.3 rebounds, 1.8 assists, zero point 0.8 steals, 0.7 blocks. So what that tells me, he more than likely going to get a steal and a block every game. And then he averaging 1.8 made threes a game on the year. So he getting almost 2 threes a game for the season, you know what I'm saying? So he doing that over the course of the season. And in week 15, he's a valuable ad because they already came out saying Casey Wallace, AJ Mitchell, and Isaiah Hartenstein was listed out for Tuesday's matchup against the Pelicans. So AJ Mitchell got a lot of opportunity popping up his way with injuries. And just looking at what he's doing over the course of the year, he's a staple in what Oklahoma City trying to do. They're going to repeat. They're going to need Aaron Wiggins to step it up, especially this week with them injuries in that lineup. So, hey, lock Wiggins in this week. In week 15, they got a full schedule. Go ahead and grab him confidently. Next up, I streamed this guy last week. I ain't gonna lie. He helped me stay in it until Sunday. Now, I eventually ended up losing, but it wasn't because of this guy. Sandro Mamukelashvili from the Toronto Raptors. You know what I'm saying? He coded as a power forward. He 20.4% rostered. So he's still widely available, just under 80%. And that's all in ESPN leagues. 25 fantasy point average. He getting 22.3 minutes a game. Like I said, I streamed him in week 14, and he was very, very productive. I think he'll stream the state candidate. I ain't even going to lie to you. I like what he did for me. He averaged 11.1 points a game on the season, 5.1 rebounds, 2 assists. He getting 1.3 threes he make a game. He even scored 50 fantasy points against Golden State on January 20th. Had a double-double in that game, even had 4 threes made in that game. So he really a baller. He really like that. He really could do what he do. He only got 3 games in week 15, but like I said, I like what he bring to the table. I streamed him last week, and he almost helped me get a dub. I came up short, but he definitely did his part for sure. So I might revisit that well with that one. Remember the name, Sandro Mamukelashvili. Next up, from the Chicago Bulls, Kevin Huerter. You know what I'm saying? He coded as a shooting guard, small forward, so you could play him either way, give you some little, some flexibility in your lineup. He 8.1% roster, 24.1 fantasy point average on the season. He averaged 11.3 points a game, 3.7 rebounds a game, 2.6 assists per game, 1.6 threes he make in a game per on the year. So almost 2 threes a game in the year. And then he averaged 29 fantasy points. He averaged 29 fantasy points in week 14. You know what I'm saying? His season average is 12 points, 3 ribs. Oh, excuse me. No. So he's averaging 29 fantasy points over the week 14. He really did his thing. You know what I'm saying? The thing with the Bulls, too, is they got 5 games scheduled in week 15. I've never seen a team have 5 games. But Chicago definitely has 5 games this week, so it's a great week to stream anybody from Chicago who's available in your league because there's a lot of opportunity right there. And Kevin Huerter, you know what I mean? He a baller. We've seen him, ball with Sacramento, ball with Atlanta, so he could definitely help you get a dub. I streamed him early in the year. He helped me get a dub. So, yeah, I like Kevin Huerter. He's definitely a guy you can grab and throw him in the lineup confidently. So, Kevin Huerter, Chicago Bulls. Remember, 5 games this week. 5 games. Keep that in y'all mind when y'all go and make y'all moves. Next up, here's a surprise guy. I ain't gonna lie, he popped up out of nowhere, but I checked him out. He on a burner right now. Dylan Cardwell from the Sacramento Kings. He 5.4% rostered, 22.8 fantasy points a game over the course of the season, 4.8 points, 7.2 rebounds though. 1.3 assists, even getting 1.7 blocks for the season. However, he's played at least 20 minutes in 6 of his last 7. So he's getting major burn here recently. I know Sacramento injuries, people in and out the lineup for Sacramento, so it's probably an ever-changing thing with them. But he's averaging 34.4 fantasy points in his last 5 games. He's also getting 24.5 minutes in that same stretch. So as you see the minutes go up, his production goes up. And in week 15, he got 4 games scheduled. So it's a lot of opportunity there for him. Check him out. There's no, you know what I mean? Like Sacramento actually been hooping better too here recently. So Dylan Caldwell is worth a look, worth an ad. And honestly, if he get major burn going forward, I could definitely see this guy being a stream to stay candidate. His numbers are crazy. The fantasy numbers are crazy, and he's worth checking out. He's at least worth the risk on trying to get a dub this week based on what he's done in his last few weeks. So yeah, Dylan Caldwell. Next up, I mentioned Kevin Huerter from Chicago, but I also got Jalen Smith. I've streamed him a few times. I ain't gonna lie. I kind of go back and forth from him. You know, I grab him if he's available from the Chicago Bulls. He 14% rostered, 23.2 fantasy points on the season. He averaged 9.8 points, 6.9 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.9 blocks. That tells me he's closer to getting a block a game than he's not. And then 1.5 threes made in a game or made per game for the season. He's getting great production, and he only playing 20 minutes a game, so he still got great stream of value. He had a 54-point fantasy game versus Brooklyn on January 16th. As I mentioned earlier, and I'm going to hone in on it again, Chicago has 5 games scheduled in Week 15. A lot of opportunity for the Bulls players, especially for Jalen Smith. He's a good ad. He's doing a little bit of everything, points, rebounds, threes made. You could definitely grab him, stream him, start him confidently. Jalen Smith. Next up, I like this guy. I mentioned him on my midweek hustle episode. Bub Carrington from the Washington Wizards. You know what I mean? He's coded as a point guard and a shooting guard. He's 12.7% rostered, 21.8 fantasy points on the season, 9.9 points, 3.8 rebounds, 4.7 assists per game, getting you 2.1 threes made a game, 28.6 minutes per game on the season. He really doing a little bit of everything. Like I say, this is one of my favorite streamers out there. I go grab him from time to time. I mentioned him on last week's midweek hustle episode. Then he still got another month without Trae. You know what I mean? I know they just traded for Trae Young, and I think everybody, or at least I am, I can speak for me. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in Washington. You know what I'm saying? It's new opportunity not only for Trae, but for Washington to be competitive again with Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? They didn't give up any picks in that move, so that makes me wonder, are they looking to make more deals here to be even more competitive? But like I say, right now, another month without Trae. Bub Carrington been holding it down. You know what I'm saying? He got major opportunity. He got 4 games scheduled this week in Week 15. You know what I'm saying? He's been a stream to stay candidate for me for at least 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Bub Carrington, make sure y'all go check him out. He's definitely worth the ad. Definitely worth the ad. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, check him out. I gave y'all a lot of people y'all can rock with, some peoples y'all could definitely help get y'all some dubs, you know, schedule advantages, opportunities. It's all there for the waiver wire for the Hustlers pickup. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all check that out. All right, this week's sleepers. Next up, my in the zone sleeper pick. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about flash. It's really about timing and opportunity. Emmanuel Quickley. I couldn't not add him up here. I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't. I looked, you know, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was trying to find somebody who I felt was more under the radar, but I ain't gonna lie, this dude on a burner right now. He's on a burner. You know what I'm saying? From the Toronto Raptors, 36.2 fantasy points on the season. You know what I mean? He averaging 17 points a game, 17.1 to be exact, 4.4 rebounds per game, 6.2 assists per game, 1.2 steals, 2.6 threes made a game, and he's averaging 32.6 minutes a game on the season. So he really having a great year. He's averaging 51 fantasy points in his last 5 games. He even had an 80-point fantasy explosion. That boy had 40 points, 10 assists, 7 made threes. And that game was against Golden State. It's funny. That's the second person I named that had a big day against Golden State. And then what's even crazier to me is this dude is still 14% available in ESPN Fantasy League. He ain't available in my league, though. But if he available in y'all league, don't play with it. Make sure y'all go grab him. Because with everything I just said, with everything he doing recently, that's why he might in the zone sleeper pick. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how much of a sleeper he is at this point. Hey, but he hooping. He definitely hooping. So make sure y'all go check him out. Like I say, 14% available in ESPN leagues. So if your league is one of them leagues that he's available, go snag him. Make room for him. Don't even we'll worry about the rest later because we here to get dubs. Y'all already know. So we trying to find value, give us that competitive edge so we can get to that championship game. Well, you gotta get to the playoffs first. So we can get to the playoffs. You got to get to the playoffs first before you get to the championship. So let's not jump ahead talking to me. All right. So look, next up is my Hustlers Energy lock pick of the week. This is who I'm standing, this is who I'm doing. This is who I'm doing crazy things with. This is who I'm locking and locking. I'm throwing away the key with it. So this ain't a prediction. It's conviction. And it's only right that I had to put my dog on here. You see, I got the Mad Blue on tonight. You know what I'm saying? This is my lock. I'm throwing away the key. My dog, Luka Doncic from the Lakers. He's my lock. I'm throwing away the key. He third at his position. He averaging 32.6 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 8.5 assists over the season. We all know he a dog. He a flat-out bucket. And I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, the name of my team is Luka Vandross. So it's only right that I had to go to my dog one time for the one time. And the thing about Luka, too, he probably finna get DeAndre Ayton paid this offseason. A solid payday. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? The Lake Show, they in good hands. Or like I've seen on X, the Snowtime Lakers are back. They here. Luka leading the charge for that resurgence. Luka is my Hustlers Energy lock pick, and I'm throwing away that key. That's who I'm rocking with. Y'all lock it in. Tap in on X, in the chat, in the comments, on Instagram. Let me know who your lock is, who your Hustlers Energy lock pick of the week. You know what I mean? Tap in. Hey, before we get up out of here, I gotta shout out my league mates. I wanna highlight our league community. I want to shout out the manager of YNs in the Hustle Sports League. He had the highest point total in the league last week. The boy had 1,600 points on the nose. Got a dub, got a blowout dub too. It was over with pretty quickly. High man for him was Evan Mobley. But and what's crazy, Evan Mobley, I don't even think he was like the third or fourth high man in that matchup. But because of the manager of YN's great management work, he maxed out them matchup acquisitions. In our league, we got 7, so 1 a day. He maxed them out, moved all 7. He got a dub. You know what I'm saying? I got a big dub, a big win. We see you working. I see you working. I had to shout you out. Great job, great work. Hey, salute to you. And our last segment before we get up out of here, this is our fantasy community debate. You know what I'm saying? Where I pick something I see on the internet. It could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? We close the show with a bold conversation. And this is one thing. Do you trust talent or opportunity more when you building your roster? So, when I bring up the waiver wire, I talk about opportunity because at this point in the season, things are changing. You know what I'm saying? Injuries popping up, trades that happen. Coaches get fired. Like anything can happen over the course of a season. So at draft time, I'm building off what I know you can do. Now that can hurt you too, because I missed on Jalen Duran this year. He fell in my lap like 2 times, and I missed him because I was looking for who what I know somebody else could do. So I think at the beginning you could go off of reputation, but at January 26th, it's time to go off opportunity. It's time to go off who doing what right now. What have you done for me lately? That's the world we live in. That's what it is. And that's how you should move at this point in the season, especially if you're trying to get there. You're trying to get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That is imperative to keeping your season alive, looking at opportunities, looking at what's out there, looking at what's currently happening. For instance, on the midweek hustle episode, I talked about the Jimmy Butler injury and look at the opportunity that's going to open up for like 4 players. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, starting off, I go with what I know. By the middle of the year, I'm looking at opportunity. I'm looking at who doing what, who hooping. You know what I'm saying? So y'all tap in on X. Let me know in the chat, in the comments. Let me know what y'all do. How y'all build y'all squad over the course of the season. Hell, whatever you do, however you do it. What's your take? What's your approach to it? I'm here to learn just as much as I'm here to guide. So let me know. Hey, but before we get out here, I appreciate y'all tapping in with the Hustle Sports Fantasy Podcast. Make sure y'all follow Hustle Sports Net on X and the Hustle Sports Network across all platforms. You know what I'm saying? And as you already know, if you sleep, you beat. Hey, I'm your host, T. Will. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Y'all get at me.